Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Today, some surprising findings when it comes to the way many Americans are planning for retirement. Marcy Keckler is with Financial Advice Strategy at Ameriprise Financial and joins us now to talk about that study and how to get a paycheck in retirement. Hi, Marcy.
Hi, Molly. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Let's talk about some of the more surprising things that you learned as part of this study.
Well, we hear so much about how to save for retirement. We wanted to understand what happens once you actually get into retirement. So we surveyed the first wave of baby boomer retirees, those who've already moved into retirement. And then we also talked to the people who are up next for retirement, that next wave, the pre-retirees, to understand how are things looking. And we learned a few things that are really interesting. One is that the retirees who've already made that transition are actually feeling pretty good about how they're able to recreate their paycheck in retirement. And that's because many of them, in fact, almost all of them, 85% have a plan for how they're going to take money out of their portfolio and have it turn into their new paycheck. The pre-retirees, they're not quite as ready. Only about half of them have a plan. But the ones who do, it's making a huge difference in how they feel. The pre-retirees who had a plan, they were 3 times more likely to say they felt confident about retirement. So getting a plan in place, we know, makes a big difference for people.
I would think so. You know, one of the things you talk about is this pay yourself in retirement study. And when you say receiving a paycheck in retirement, you're talking about the investments you've made during your working years and how to maybe either withdraw that money appropriately or how to know how much to take out, say, on a monthly or annual basis, right?
Exactly. What we know is that the retirees who've already made that transition into retirement tell us that they're kind of getting that replacement for their former paycheck from a few different sources. One is, of course, Social Security. Many of them are receiving Social Security, and that's a key part of their picture. Many also have a pension that they have from their employer, and which is great. It's something that they can count on. And then the next big piece of the puzzle is how they're going to tap into what they've saved, kind of their strategy for pulling money from different retirement accounts that they have. Putting those pieces all together is what we mean by really paying yourself in retirement or recreating a paycheck.
What are 1 or 2 of your best pieces of advice for baby boomers right now as they look toward planning retirement?
You know, there are 3 things I think are going to make a big difference. Number 1 is to have a portfolio diversification strategy. You want to make sure that you have a wide array of investments and they're going to work together in a coordinated way. So taking a fresh look at your diversification and making sure you understand what you own and why you own it. A second thing that's really important is having a tax-smart withdrawal strategy. Nobody likes an unpleasant surprise at tax time, but it's especially challenging in retirement. And so knowing when you pull money from some accounts, it's going to have a different tax impact than pulling from another account. Being able to have some balance there and have control over your tax situation is a really great thing for people to consider. And then finally, if you don't have a plan yet, we know that getting a plan in place is going to make a big difference. So that's the third and final thing I'd recommend is get a plan in place and engage a financial professional if you'd like help with that. They can make a big difference for you.
And I think younger generations can learn a lot from baby boomers as well in terms of how to come up with the best plan so that you can have peace of mind when it comes time to retire.
That's right. I mean, we know for the next generation and for people who are quite a ways from retirement, one key lesson is start saving early. If you haven't started, now's the time. If you have already started, good for you. But think about what you might want to do to crank up your savings just a little bit. Another key thing to consider is, you know, tax time is right around the corner. A lot of people are going to get an income tax refund. If you're one of those people, it can be tempting to really just splurge with it, and I recommend you set aside a little bit for a splurge, but think about saving the difference. It can be a nice way to boost your savings without a whole lot of pain, and something that you'll feel proud of, and it'll make a big difference in the long run.
Wonderful. Great to talk to you this morning. Thank you so much.